Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing with a Naya Warleader enchantment deck. You might be thinking, where's the Kami of Transience? Where's the Generous Visitor? Gone! What do we have instead? Warleader's Call. One card pushing this whole thing into being a 3-color deck. Is it worth it? Totes! Are you interested? If so, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, hosting a show that is so popular that YouTube has recently asked about changing their name to Uncommonly Good Tube, Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon SuckIt. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck that I sort of found over on the Aether Hub. It was called Warleader Enchantments by Serok23. But after playing it a few times, I had to make some changes to it. So it's mostly Serok's idea, but we got some changes to it. So the link in the description will post to my deck, which will have a link in the description. It'll be posted. It'll go to his deck if you want to take a look at what his is doing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit about how the deck works, and then we're going to go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. Ultimately, what we got is, let's take a look. Hallowed Haunting. This is like the key here, which means every time you put out an enchantment, you put out a spirit, and the spirit is equal to the number of enchantments and spirits you control, which means that, therefore, it'll be a 2-2. And if you get another one out, then it'll be a 3. They'll all be 3/3s, and then 4/4s, that kind of stuff. And if you have 7 or more enchantments, then they'll have flying and vigilance, which is fantastic, right? So that's the core. You put out enchantments, you get creatures. We got Warleader's Call, which said all your creatures get +1/+1, and then when they enter the battlefield, that it deals a point of damage to each opponent. So therefore, if you got Hallowed Haunting out, you already got. Well, you got that guy. You put this out, you get another guy, which does a point of damage, and then he'll be a 3/3 because you'll have a spirit and 2 enchantments. Let's see. And so that every time you put out more enchantments, all that just starts blowing up crazier and crazier and crazier. So let's see what else we got in here. We've got Audacity, which you can put on a guy, which gives him +2/+0, and Trample. And then when this card is put into the graveyard, you draw a card. This guy, whenever you put this out, it deals 1 point of damage to a target creature you don't control, equal to the number of creatures you have. Ossification is creature removal. Skrelv's Hive puts out a dude every turn. This guy comes out and then you draw a card. This guy comes out and you have life gain. This guy puts out a guy for 3 turns and then becomes a Glorious Anthem. This guy removes stuff, but they're all enchantments, right? Just about everything in here is enchantment. Even the guys we're putting out are enchantments, right? Let's see, what do we got? Calix, he's an enchantment, and every time an enchantment comes out, you put a Popo counter on a target creature, and if you deal damage to a player, you create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control, which means you start making more stuff, which causes more dudes to come out. Anyways, it's a giant twister of enchantment love. What does this do? You get to play an additional turn, which is kind of stupid. But if you got 7 lands out, then you get to do the bottom ability, which is where you can play lands or enchantments or creatures off the top of your library, which is your entire deck. So that means you can start playing stuff off the top of your library, which gives you another bunch of cards to play with every turn. And then we got a bunch of lands because we're trying to do the 3-color thing. I had a hard time with the tap lands. It made this deck way slow. So I tried to put in a bunch of stuff that was a lot faster to play. As such, this deck sometimes have problems getting the 3rd color mana, but it wasn't so bad that I stopped playing it. So it's something to tinker with in the future. All right, so what are we doing? We're going to be building our way up towards trying to get to Hallowed Haunting and Warleader's Call, pinning things down, but eventually slamming out enchantments, putting out tons of spirits, and slamming in with a bunch of guys doing damage all the way from Warleader's Call. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every day. Say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. All right, we were playing against KnightHood. All right, 2 or fewer. I should just put this out. I had nothing better to do on that turn. Draw a card. All right, we're playing against mono red apparently. We didn't put out a white, which is what we really wanted, apparently. All right, all in for 1. And 2 whites, this will do it. The guy who wants to shoot is Jukai Naturalist. He doesn't need me having life gain. You're red, man. You should have attacked 4 times in the amount of time that we've been waiting. What are you going to do? You don't have any mana left, man. That was a complete waste of a guy. All right, I could put out... Can I do 2? No, I can't. Let's take that guy out. All right, so you could deal 4. I can gain 2 back, which means he's dealing a net 2 per turn. I'm dealing 3. What's this crap? He could shoot, but he's out. All right, 13-13. He's going to shoot the Naturalist, this situation. I got 1 more exile in my hand. Let's take out Feldon. You gonna shoot your own Feldon? Alright, well that sucks. We need that life gain. You don't have any more guys, huh? Good for you. Alright. taking his guys. He is out of stuff to do. Hopefully he didn't just draw somebody, because we got dudes, but they're going to be slow. What's this thing here? Okay, whatever. Let's go for this guy. Wedding announcement. If we're not getting our key cards, we're actually doing not so bad. It was because of the Naturalists holding together the early game. And I guess being able to pin down all of his guys. Jump, jump! If I control 7 more lands, I'm going to take a look at left and play lands of creature enchantments on top of your... Okay, cool. I've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough. Get in the pod. If I was mono red, I'd be like, this game shouldn't be this long. How do I have so many lands out? This, as far as I'm concerned, there's only 4 lands in this deck, and yet I'm showing 6. This is ridiculous. You got 1 card, dude. What are you going to start roping me now? Yep. Here comes the rope. Trying to milk my wedding announcements as much as possible. All right, I got chumps. I got chumps galore. All right, I got the end of you if you don't have an answer on this next turn. All right, this guy is kind of a jerk. Won't play the game if he sees himself losing. All right, so he can shoot my guys. That could bait me into doing things that are incorrect. I'm going to send in just the amount that I need to be able to kill him and keep some back. Now he's stringing this out on purpose. And we win. All right, that guy made it as painful as possible, but I'm not going to let a stupid roper keep me from my victory. Victory! All right, playing against SocialPlatypus. All right, Skrelv's Hive. We start throwing out Warleader calls. Calix would be cool. Let's just do that. Warleader's call's too good. What are you gonna take care of Calix or Warleader's call? I just don't know. I guess I'll just have to seal it from existence and get it back. That was exactly not what I expected to do. I just know this guy tends to come back all the time, and I didn't want to keep fighting him. I figured it'd come down to a Deep Cavern Bat. Sure, you'll gain a life per turn, but... who's there? I don't know. Let's pump you up, buddy. How about that? How's that sound? All right, let's all go in. Everything's fine. Yeah, let's put poison where poison goes. Ooh, you're trying to roots me, huh? And we win! Alright. We were aggressive. We were powerful. We won. Alright, we're playing against Isquiotibial. Isquiotibial. That's a word. I'm fairly certain. Tabial. Isquiotibial. Deep. Alright, we have no red for Warleader's Call, but hopefully we'll pick something up. Nothing really to do for this. Let's see, we just need to get... It's fine. We need to get something. And no. This guy's a bomb. We pop out. We have to have creatures, though, and we don't really have any creatures. Alright, dog needs to shut up. Alright, now he's above the one that kills people of 5 or less. And he kills it that way. Alright, we're not doing great. Now we're doing much better. We just got to push our advantage. And I really want to get Warleader's Call out there. Alright, come on. Red mana. That's 2 more guys. Excellent. And they all pump up. Nice! Ooh, man. Things have turned a little bit there. Alright, we draw a card out of the deal. He hasn't put anything out that's bad. We can use Tune Resistance to take out his Virtue Persistence, but he's still a long way from that. Gone. So I want to kill. Nothing up there is really that bad. Let's put out Spirited Companion. Those guys are all buffed now. Super cool. And all in for 6. 12. He's just going to double chump. Things are not looking good for you at this point, my friend. Isquiotibial. Isqui, let's just call you that. Look, your poor dog, your stink dog over there, stinking it up. Oh, we could do that. That's great. Do they need more? I don't understand why they're not flying yet. All right, there we go. All right, that's a lot. What are you going to do, man? You kill one of them. That's still 40 points right there. Block the dog. And we win! All right, glorious, glorious victory. Victory! All right, we're playing against Seth Davis. Hi, Bear. How you doing? That was a nice greeting. Ah, we have new guy. What is this guy playing here? Human. White. Alright, he's playing some Boros humans, maybe? Warleader call. Probably. Let's pump that guy up. We don't have any basics, we can't take it out, but we can totally kick that dude's booty and suck up some life while we're at it. We need a basic land so we can ossify something. Who are you going to shoot? Calix? Alright, basic land me. Come on. Basic land. Didn't get it. We're just going to trade, but I got life gain, man. And the problem is that means you're doing nothing to me and I'm doing everything to you. Alright, so you attack with all three guys, you will get pumped. There's a Warleader call. Alright, basic land. Perfect. Take that guy out. Let's get out the other Naturalist. And I can play a wedding announcement at this point. Ought to pay. Two dudes. Alright, we're good to go. What do we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a bunch of chumping. I want some chumps. I gotta stay back, so let's just do that. Chump, chump! Alright, you wanna come after me, brah? I'm at 20. Done. There we go. That's Beef Supreme Incarnate right there. Now we're just standing looking at each other like idiots. We're both looking for whatever's going to make this thing awesome. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, another land is not going to cut it. I guess what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have been 6. You're counting stuff, sure. You actually gonna attack? Nope. Oh, sweet God. Was that 3 lands in a row? Just turn after turn, not doing anything? Hey, he's pumping again. Have you done the math? You think it's going to work? Nope, you don't. There's another land? No. We do got this, which is pretty cool. Not that's going to do anything. Nope, let's not do that. And we win! Oh, that was a lucky draw. That was a lucky draw. Victory! We're playing against Avalon Dragos. Keep. Nope. Alright, so we could seal a couple things down. Skrelv's Hive. We need a red for the Warleader call. This guy wants to kill creatures. Black's not really good at taking care of enchantments. I don't think he's going to have a lot left. Let's go in for 1. Alright, he's wasting his cards. That's good. Alright, let's... Is that enough? Alright, we're going to put this guy out. Pump that dude. Throw this on him. That makes him into a much more agreeable target. Keep the heat off of Calix for a second. There we go. Calix is doing a crap ton of work right there. If he doesn't recognize and kill Calix, he's an idiot. Even though I've done everything to make Calix look as pitiful as possible. Alright, that's good for you. I need that red mana. I don't have red mana. We're just going to get rid of Warleader's Call. It's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to save the seal from existence. For the virtue of persistence. Alright, if you can't kill him, he's just going to do it anyway. Alright, he's got 2 of them now. That sucks. Alright, he's got to go after my hand, so we're just going to leave it. Eventually we'll be able to take out Liliana. That's all there's to it. He's not getting his last mana that he needs so badly. Well, that hard work Calix did. There you go. All right, go get her. All right, so he's going to take out our Hothouse. Unfortunately, we don't have to be able to get rid of virtual persistence anymore. Don't get a land. Don't have gotten a land. Alright, cool. Come on, red mana. Yes! Go get him! And we win! Boom, boom, goes the room. Victory! Alright, here we are with Warleader's Enchantment, and it was a fun deck. It was a really good deck. I had a good time playing it big time. It was just so satisfying to have out Warleader's Call and Hallowed Hauntings at the same time. So as we were playing other enchantments, that we just kept putting out more of these dudes, and they just kept getting more and more pumped and shooting for lots of damage. It was just incredible. I always loved a good Hallowed Haunting deck. It's amazing that we're still playing it in Standard after all these years. I mean, technically Standard's only supposed to be for 2 years. It should be gone by now, but yet it's a fantastic card, and we barely play it nowadays. It was great. When I saw this and I saw that it didn't have the other trappings of a stupid SELESNYA enchantment deck, I was happy to play it again. I was happy to play it. All right, let's see. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I can tell you, the one card I kept hoping for over everything else, it was Hallowed Haunting. Hallowed Haunting was totally it. But also, like, Warleader's Call, of course, makes everything work great. But we needed the red mana for it. And red mana showed up a lot. It showed up a ton. The thing is, though, is this mix of land... I had a hard time getting all 3 colors the way that I wanted it to be. That was kind of rough sometimes. Thing is, originally this thing came out with the lands being way different than what was here. I ended up changing it to this. just because I felt like it was I was way too slow with just nothing but tap lands constantly, and was getting my butt beat by aggro because of it. So you kind of have to pick what it is that you're fighting against, because this deck is definitely faster. It's just that sometimes we have a hard time either getting green or getting red. So maybe there's some stuff to work out here. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll come back to it. I always had some more ideas about it. All right, so anyways, the MVP was Hallowed Haunting. Hallowed Haunting. You're going to Disneyland. Was this deck competitive? Look, no. Now, in my opinion, it was not a competitive deck. And what I mean by that is that you're not going to take this thing on the ladder. You're not going to be taking it into Mythic or anything like that. It was not competitive. Did it win more than 50%? Just barely. I ended up getting 52%, which meant that 1 out of every other game I played, I ended up winning with. But it was, it wasn't, but every game I played. And every game I lost, I fought in. And we did a good job. I mean, the only people I'd say that kind of slaughtered us was mono red. I made this deck faster just to try to keep up with aggro. But sometimes there was nothing you could do. Turn 2, you're down to 13. That was just happening constantly. If you couldn't get out a decent set of stuff or seal down all their dudes, then you were going to be taken out 2 turns later. That's all there was to it. This deck was a little too slow to be able to take out the aggro decks, the super aggro decks, the highly tuned ones. But other than that, you did a pretty decent job. All right, so was this deck fun? Yeah, it was a fun deck. That's what I liked about it a lot. I enjoyed getting things out, drawing cards. Life game was fantastic. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking that case of the Gateway Express, it would be better to swap that out for the one that gains you life every time a creature comes into play. We didn't have a lot of creatures unless you had Hallowed Haunting, at which point we got tons. Actually, we did get a lot of creatures. We got creatures from Skrelv's Hide and Wedding Announcement. So yeah, being able to gain life from an enchantment is probably the better thing to do, because you need more time. So that would definitely be an enhancement I would make. But this was a fun deck. There's a lot of synergy between the cards. So let's just get to, was this deck interesting? Yes. And that's probably the reason why I had so much fun with it. It was because of how interesting the deck was. The synergy between the cards, the fact we're playing like a tribal, an enchantment tribal deck was fun. It was great seeing it come. When I thought, wow, we're putting red in just to support Warleader's Call. Really? You know what? Yeah, man, really. Warleader's Call in enchantment deck, especially with Hallowed Haunting, fantastic combo capabilities there. So yeah, I was big time happy with the way this deck worked. I had tons of fun with it. And that's why I would recommend it. So let's count this thing up. Was it competitive? I'm going to say no, not really. But, it was worth playing. Number 2, was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Totally. So I'm going to give this deck, I'm going to give it a straight A. I'm going to give it a straight A. Just because even it wasn't very competitive. That usually drops these things down to a B level. But I can say with how fun it was and how interesting it was, I'm going to push this thing even beyond an A- to a straight A. That's just how much I enjoyed playing it, and I will continue to play this deck again and again and again. All right, so that's it. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.